Join us at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino with the #1 gaming experience and entertainment. The Pahrump Nugget has the #1 dining experience at Stockman Steakhouse, Golden Harvest Cafe, and the Gold Miners Buffet. Come get your game on at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
Welcome back to News 46. Political activist Niger Innis spoke to News 46 about the Congress for Racial Equality headquarters opening in Las Vegas.
Well, I was born in the Bronx, raised in Harlem. I know you can't tell from my lack of accent. I have a neutral accent, I've been told. I went to school, public school and private school in my youth, and eventually went to Georgetown University. I very quickly, out of school, joined CORE and started working with CORE, and pretty much have stayed with CORE for a couple of decades with a brief period of time, actually a little more than brief, about 3 years. I was a political commentator for MSNBC. People say to me, how can you work for CORE and for the TeaParty.net? I says, those folk are fighting for the same things, they just don't know it. Our core beliefs are for limited government, individual responsibility, basic fundamental principles. We believe in our Constitution. We don't believe that it's a living mechanism that is subject to change and interpretation. We believe that what is, and what's written in the Constitution is what was meant by the founders, and is something that if we want to change, there's an amendment process, and that's what we need to go through, but we don't need to create new laws out of whole cloth, that it's all right there in the good book that is the Constitution. One of the issues that we did not anticipate being forced to deal with was the issue of unfair scrutiny by the IRS and harassment by the IRS. Not just our group, the TeaParty.net, but a number of other national and local Tea Party groups have been harassed, have been denied. In fact, actually not even officially denied the IRS status, tax-exempt status, but put into a never-never land where you're neither denied or you're approved. Now, see, the good thing about being denied is that it gives you the right to appeal and to ask for specific reasons as to why you were denied. But the fact that they keep us in limbo and just keep asking us, it's a death by 1,000 cuts, or a death by 1,000 bureaucrats, or a death by 1,000 bureaucrats questions, or 1,000 questions from bureaucrats. And that is most unfortunate because you've had, for decades, liberal organizations, liberal-leaning organizations, folk within the environmentalist movement that have had tax-exempt status and have had the benefits of tax-exempt status and have had the access to tax-exempt status. And now that you have limited government folk pursuing the same thing, somehow now that's a threat to our constitutional republic. So what I say for those of us patriots that believe in limited government, break out of your comfort zone. Go into communities where they haven't heard the message of limited government, where they don't really understand the foundation of our laws and our way of life, and talk about the Constitution, talk about the Bill of Rights, talk about the fact that the Bill of Rights are civil rights, that it is an ultimate insurance policy for individuals, and they'll be surprised at what kind of positive response they get from that effort. Well, I have been asked by several good Americans here in Nevada to run for political office, and a lot of folk are hoping that I take on Stephen Horsford. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not, but I'm giving very serious prayerful consideration.
Well, congratulations to Lorraine Russo Harper, who has been named this year's Grand Marshal of the Fall Festival Parade. She invites everyone down to Draft Picks to find out more on what the new business has to offer.
Well, I just want everybody to know that the menu is pretty much the same. We are open, but we've added a couple things. We've added a wonderful steak dinner. We've added the club sandwiches back. The bowling's still here, your same servers and bartenders that you're accustomed to, same great customer service. So come on in, even though we don't have our sign yet, but we are working on it. We would love to see you, and I know the servers and bartenders miss you, so please, we are open, we are looking forward to seeing you. And check out the new joint. Gearing up for football now. We got all the NFL games naturally. We got all the college games. We have great giveaways. You know, we do the football jerseys on the Monday night games, and we have hats and t-shirts on the Sunday games during the NFL. So come out, check it out. The drawings are always free as usual. We still have beer specials, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, for the first time ever, Apple unveiled 2 new iPhones today. One of them is a traditional upgrade of its iPhone 5 called the iPhone 5S. They say the 5S has a dramatic increase in processing speed. The other is the iPhone 5C that has a new design they say is more fun, more colorful than any iPhone they have made yet. The phone will sell for as little as $99 for a 16-gigabyte version and $199 for the 32-gigabyte version, each with a 2-year mobile contract. In a departure, Apple will also be making its own cases for the 5C, selling in a variety of colors for $29. The iPhone 5S will sell for $199 for the 16 gigabyte, $299 for the 32 gigabyte, and $399 for the top-end 64 gigabyte phone. Both versions are on sale starting September 20th. Well, Angela Miles brings you today's first business brief.
This is the first business brief for Tuesday, September 10th. I'm Angela Miles. Talk of Syria potentially surrendering its stockpile of chemical weapons is likely to get a mention in the president's speech tonight at 9 Eastern. Secretary of State John Kerry made what's viewed as an offhanded suggestion that Syria could avert an American attack by giving up the weapons. That comment was welcomed by leaders in Syria, Russia, the United Nations, and the stock market. Tokyo winning the bid to host the 2020 Olympic Games drove the Nikkei to a 5-week high, led by sportswear manufacturer Mizuno, gym shoe maker ASICS, and shares of contractors that may build new structures for the games. And eventually, you may be able to stop at a Walgreens for a pack of gum, some shampoo, and lab tests. Walgreens has a deal with a lab testing service that will allow customers to get routine tests done right at the drugstore. That's the first business brief. I'm Angela Miles.
Well, folks, coming up after the break, we're going to have your weather, so keep it here.
News 46 weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump. Local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today we're looking at isolated thunderstorms with a high of 86 degrees and average temperature of 96 degrees. Winds will be coming from the southeast at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 10 miles per hour. The UV index is 8, which is very high. Humidity is at 41% today. Sunrise was at 6:22 this morning, and the record high in 1945 was 108 degrees. Tonight we're looking at continued isolated thunderstorms with a low of 64 degrees and average temperature of 74. Winds will be coming from the south-southeast at 4 miles per hour with gusts up to 7 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 59%. Sunset will be at 6:58 this evening, and the record low in 1941 was 48 degrees. Tomorrow we're looking at continued isolated thunderstorms with a high of 83 degrees, a low of 64 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 4 miles per hour with gusts up to 6 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 39%. Sunrise will be at 6:23 a.m. and the UV index is 7, which is very high. For our 7-day forecast, we'll be having some showers tomorrow, mostly a sunny outlook this week. Your high temperatures will be in the mid-80s going up to the mid-90s, and your low temperatures will start off in the mid-60s going up to 70 degrees this weekend and going back down to the high 60s on Monday and Tuesday.
Well, folks, that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Monique Mitchell, and from everyone up here at News 46, we wish you a safe night. We'll see you here again tomorrow. Until then, good night.